The growth curve for the 21st century is a new international growth reference for children from birth to 5 years of age. These curves reflect the growth of children living in healthy environments who are fed following guidelines that promote optimal growth in infancy and early childhood. To develop this growth reference, the World Health Organization conducted a multi-center study of children from diverse ethnic backgrounds living in different countries around the world. In each country, one group of infants was measured several times from birth to age 24 months. Another group of children, 18 to 71 months of age, was measured only once in a cross-sectional study. The measurements taken are described in this video. The video was also used to help train field workers. Training was important to ensure that the measurements taken were accurate and reliable. The measurements taken in the study were weight, length, height, head circumference, mid-upper arm circumference, triceps skin fold, subscapular skin fold. A uniscale is used to measure weight. The scale weighs to the nearest 100 grams. To turn it on, cover the solar panel for just a second. After you uncover it, the number 0 should appear on the display. Infants and young children should be held by their mother. This provides security to the baby and allows measurement of the mother's weight. The scale should be placed on a hard horizontal surface so that the display is clearly visible. First, weigh the mother. She should wear clothing of a known weight, which is recorded and subtracted from the final weight. She should remove any heavy objects and take off her shoes. Her clothing should not cover the solar panel. Read and record her weight. Ask the mother to remain on the scale, then tar the scale by covering the solar panel. The scale is tarred when it displays a picture of a mother and baby. Give the baby to the mother. Ask her to stand still until the baby's weight appears on the display. To weigh a child older than 24 months, turn on the scale. Place his feet slightly apart in the center of the platform. Tell him to stand completely still. Record the weight as it appears on the display. Remove shoes and heavy objects. Stand still over the center. Record the weight in kilograms to the nearest 100 grams. To weigh an infant, tar the scale first. Length is measured on a Harpenden infantometer, which has a fixed headboard and movable footboard. To avoid causing discomfort, cover the board with a thin cloth or soft paper. The lead observer stands on the side so as to hold down the baby's legs with one hand and move the footboard with the other hand. The assisting observer stands at the headboard to help position the child's head. Braids should be undone and hair ornaments removed if they interfere with positioning the head. The assisting observer holds the child's head so that the top of the head touches the fixed headboard. To keep the child's head in the correct position, she gently cups her hands over the child's ears. The mother reassures the child and talks to her. The head is positioned so that a vertical line from the ear canal to the lower border of the eye socket is perpendicular to the horizontal board. This position is known as the Frankfurt vertical plane. The lead observer positions the child's trunk so that it is flat and straight on the board. Gentle pressure is applied on the knees to straighten the legs. The footboard is positioned against the child's feet, toes pointing upward. Measuring length can provoke anxiety and crying in children, so the mother should reassure the child. It may be necessary to keep the child's clothing on, but ensure that they do not get in the way of the measurement. Her head should be positioned correctly, and her legs and feet held firmly in their correct position to obtain an accurate measurement. You may wish to encourage the mother to take the time to comfort the child after the measurement. For newborns, position their head as you would an older child, but it is not possible to straighten the knees of newborns as with older children. Newborns are still very fragile and could easily be injured if too much pressure is applied to their legs, so the observer should apply minimum pressure on their knees. Position the head, straighten the child's trunk and legs, position their feet, then record the length in centimeters to the last completed 1 millimeter. A Harpenden stadiometer is used to measure height. The stadiometer has a vertical backboard, a fixed baseboard, and a movable headboard. In measuring child height, the assisting observer holds the child's legs to keep them straight and feet flat. The lead observer must get down to the level of the child's face. The child stands on the stadiometer with feet slightly apart. Hair ornaments should be removed. The back of her head, shoulder blades, buttocks, calves, and heels should touch the vertical board. Position the head so that the horizontal line connecting the upper ear opening and the lower edge of the eye socket runs parallel to the baseboard. This is the Frankfurt horizontal plane. Push in gently on her tummy to help the child stand to full height. Pull down the headboard to rest firmly on top of her head. Take the reading to the last completed 1 millimeter. Parental height is also measured. The subject stands centrally on the baseboard, her feet slightly apart, the trunk balanced over the waist, arms and shoulders relaxed. She looks straight ahead and holds her head in a Frankfurt horizontal plane. She takes a deep breath. This straightens her spine and gives a consistent measurement. Remove shoes and hair ornaments. Stand against the vertical backboard. Position the head. For adults, they should take a deep breath. For children, push in their tummy. Record the height in centimeters to the last completed 1 millimeter. A tape marked in centimeters and millimeters is used to measure head circumference. Hairpins or headbands should be removed and braids undone if they interfere with the positioning of the tape around the head. The lead observer stands or sits by the side of the child, passes the tape around the head and anchors it over the eyebrows. Check that the tape passes over the fullest part of the skull at the back. The assisting observer positions the tape correctly on the other side of the head. Pull tight to compress the hair and skin and take the reading to the last completed millimeter. An infant or child below age 2 years is held on the mother's lap. First, loop the tape, then slip it over the head. Be careful not to pull the tape too tight and cause injury to newborns.